Let me say something that some of you may not like. African Union needs to be self-reliant. As long as the bulk of the AU funds come from outside the African continent, we somehow will find ourselves dancing to the music that is not of our own making. Climate change continues to ravage lives and livelihoods of millions. We must remain faithful in the implementation of decisions that we make in our sessions.
Yes, this is what always I say. We can't continue to blame others for this mess. The enemy is within ourselves. What have we done as the people of Africa to make sure that we learn out of these problems? Why we continue to have colonial mindset? Why we know the problems, we know the solutions, but we are not implementing those solutions? We are waiting to whom one? Are we waiting the Chinese, the Europeans, Americans to tell us what to do, how to unite? If the European leaders, politicians came together, divide this continent, came together, united in creating European Union where Europeans can move free without asking of any visas, where Europeans have their own currency, euro. Why don't we, the African, even learn from them that we must come together? We must allow free movement of people and goods. You know, till today, many of our projects are funded by others. You heard that the African Union is funded by outsiders. We have minerals, we have natural resources, and yet we do business with others. Where are these money going? That is a question that we must ask ourselves, that we can't afford to fund our projects. You see, still we are putting these borders on place. We fear one another. You see, the Europeans are accessing very easy to Africa, but it is difficult for African from South Africa or from anywhere to move to other African countries. You see, due to this visa restriction, the Europeans are moving freely in Europe, but when it comes to Africa, it is difficult. And yet, we want to implement Africa Continental Free Trade Area. How can we achieve this? You know, sometimes we come out, we blame others. I think let us say enough is enough to blame others. Let us blame ourselves. What have we done? Why we fear to open borders for our fellow brothers and sisters, and yet we open borders for Europeans, Chinese, and others? What do we fear? We have been taught to hate each other. Yes, we know that we have been taught that. What next? What have we done? And yet we say we have educated people, we have professionals. What have they done? That's why sometimes I think we have a problem even with the people of Africa. We need to change this. Don't expect the Chinese to come and help you to unite this continent. That's why we're talking about the unity of this continent. Don't expect the Americans will come and help you to unite this continent. Don't expect the Europeans will come and, because they know the unity is a threat to them. If we unite, they will not have access to these minerals very easy. They know very well that they will struggle to get natural resources, to get raw material for their industries, if we come together, if we unite. So that's why sometimes there are those who have been lobbied to make sure that will not happen. And yet we know the problem, we address these problems, but we don't take any actions. What kind of people are we? That's the question that we must ask ourselves. We know the problem. You see, everyone, since Kwame Nkrumah is speaking about this, You see, this is one of the ministers in Kenya. He know the problem, but what is next? We ended up by speaking without taking action. When Africa will decide, and that's why you see sometimes the people in Sahel celebrating these military leaders, because they see these military leaders taking actions. They said France must go out, and we see France is going out. We see they are talking about their resources, how they are going to manage their resources, and we see what is happening now. But when it comes for us, others, we are still delaying, we are still fearing. My brother, my sister, no one will come and help you to build this continent except you, the people of Africa. If we are in colonialism, slavery for almost 400 years and no one came to help you, don't expect that there is someone or an angel who will come and help us to succeed. So it is our duty, it is our responsibilities. The way our founding fathers fought for independence, it is also responsibility for us, the current generation, to unite this continent. You know, one thing that I asked myself, even myself, have done nothing for this continent. I blame myself. What am I done for this continent? I have done nothing, but I'm trying to do my best to bring people together. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to share this to my fellow Africans who are in the diaspora, in the Caribbean, in the continent, so that we can come together and decide for our future. Our professionals, our elders, our politicians, what have you done? The European politicians, European leaders came together and unite the Europeans, came together and divide Africa. And yet we learn history, we learn wherever we are learning, and yet we can't implement. What kind of people are we? So we need to change. We need to change. We need to change. So, brothers and sisters, that is the Africa that we talk about. Let us build the Africa that we want. No one will help us to build the Africa that we want because they don't know the Africa that we want. It's we, the people of Africa, who know the Africa that we want. Okay, they divided us. Let us come together and unite us again. What is our mistakes? What are we fear? Why we fear one another? What's the problem to open border for Senegalese, for Burkina Faso, for Mali, for Niger? What are we fear? We fear security. And yet we don't have security. We have these borders. Still we have conflicts. We have these borders. Still we have been fed by others. We have these borders. We are so divided. Still we are not industrialized. So what are we doing? Let us ask this critical question. What are we doing for this continent? What have we done? Everyone, what are we doing for this continent and the people of Africa? It is paining. And for how long will we continue to say this without implementation? For how long will we continue to lament, to speak about the history without implementing and change these stories? And whom will change these stories? Until the lion know how to light. Otherwise, the history will glorify the hunter. We can't continue to lament. It is enough. Thank you.